might be missing some of the benefits that stereo can provide.
Alright you guys, this is Top Gear 2 for the Super Nintendo. This is hands down one of my favorite arcade-style racing games from the 16-bit era, or even the 8-bit era. It's no surprise I'm a huge fan of these types of games. I love games like Rad Racer on the NES and Outrun from Sega, either in the arcade or on the Genesis. You know, I love all these kinds of games, but this one takes the cake. The graphics are phenomenal, the music, the sensation of speed and the controls, the upgrades you can do to your car, all top-notch stuff. If I had one complaint about this game, there's a small technical problem, and that is when your tires are squealing, you actually lose one of the, channels of the music, and it's the main melody of the music. You'll hear the kind of flute sound actually just completely goes away when you're squealing the tires, which kind of ruins the music, which is a shame because the music is awesome. I've talked about Lotus Challenge for the Genesis or Amiga. That was a game developed by Gremlin Interactive, and they went on to eventually do Top Gear for the Super Nintendo. Now, I've reviewed Top Gear on the Super Nintendo, and it's a pretty good game. I like it. Overall, decent graphics, decent music, and decent gameplay. But this one here improves on it in every single possible way. The music gets turned up to 11. This is some of the best music that I can remember from the Super Nintendo. I just loved the music in this game. It suited the game so well. Now, first things first, we're going to buy some tires. I know you're going to want to save up, you're going to want to buy a bigger engine, or you're going to want to buy a bigger nitrous kit. Do not fall for that, guys. You need the tires first. You may have noticed in the first race, the tires are screeching non-stop. You understeer in every single corner, you end up hitting the wall. You spin out, it takes off way too much time. You need the tires first. The tires make a huge difference in this game. I love the fact you can upgrade in this game. That's something that Rad Racer and Outrun didn't have. And the nitrous. The nitrous in this game gives you such a sensation of speed. So there, I've upgraded the nitrous. That's, usually what I do after the tires. Because it's a fairly cheap upgrade. And it will help you in some of the longer races. You can see we're starting to come in first place, and that's because we've done the tires and we've done the nitrous, and now we're getting $10,000 per race when you get first place. So first things first, once you get some serious money, is go for the gearbox. I know, like I said, you're gonna want to go for the engine. Don't do it. The gearbox makes a much bigger difference in this game than the engine. You'll notice before we had 4 speeds, now we have 5. And the acceleration and top speed, it makes, I think, it makes a bigger difference than the engine upgrade. And it's not quite as costly, so the gearbox is definitely the first major upgrade you want to do. And that's going to allow you to stay competitive throughout the next 5 or 6 races. There's a lot of tracks in this game. You go to like every country on the planet. I'm serious, there's got to be like 60 races in this game. So you have to plan your upgrades, because it will screw you over later on if you don't have the proper upgrades to stay competitive. Looking at the screen, I mean, the top left, you have your tachometer and your speedometer. I'm playing with manual. I prefer playing this game with the manual. It's more fun, especially on the Super Nintendo controller, like I've said before. L and R, downshifts and upshifts, just like you would expect. X is your acceleration, Y and B are your brake, and A is your nitrous. You can see right below your speed how many shots of nitrous you have left. So you obviously need to, save those. You don't want to use them all in the first few laps. You need to save them for the later laps. Below that, you'll see the manual and how many speeds you have, what gear you're in. Like I said before, it only showed 4, now it shows 5 because we've upgraded the gearbox. You've got damage, which doesn't take a huge effect until the later races, and same with the fuel. In the later races, you will have to hit for fuel. This game was released for the Sega Genesis as well. I've played both versions. It came out for the Super Nintendo first. This game came December 22nd, 1993. It came out in North America December 30th, 1993. And it came out on the Genesis June 1994. Vic Toki actually, I think, ported it to the Genesis. And it's pretty good. The graphics are just as good. Actually, there might be less slowdown, because sometimes in this game, especially when there's the snow or the rain, the frame rate gets a little bit slow. Oddly enough, it doesn't affect the gameplay. Otherwise the graphics are fairly close, but the thing that really just brings me to the Super Nintendo version is the music. Like I said, the music in this game is awesome, and it's actually totally different music on the Genesis version, so... And like I said, this is definitely one of my favorite racing games from the 8 and 16-bit era. Probably the funnest racing game I've ever played. And if you have a Super Nintendo, definitely check it out if you're into racing games. See you later.